Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to take a photo like this and a photo like this, taking the best parts from each photo. So in this case, her hair, and in this case, the rest of it, and turn it into something that looks like this. Let's get started. Okie doke, so first of all, this was shot with a 14mm at 2.8 ISO 160 at 1/800th of a second. I have a speed light on a 75cm Godox double diffused octabox coming in from this corner down, shooting at about half or full power, I can't quite remember. And this was a shot that the model requested I use as kind of the base. So she likes the way that she's posed. She even likes that her eyes are closed, kind of gives it a more serene feeling. But she really likes the way that her hair is flowing in this shot. And so she wanted me to composite them together, so I'll kind of show you how I do that. First thing I do is I'm going to do just a Lightroom edit. And then I'm just going to bring them both into Photoshop. Alright, we are into Photoshop. This is our base. We're going to go to the hair. And then what I like to do is I just take the lasso tool and I'm just going to select a big chunk, copy that, and bring it into here. So we're just focusing on the hair part. I'm going to bring down the opacity just so I can see more what I'm doing and try to line up the hair more naturally. Alright, this seems pretty good. I'm gonna create a black mask and then just using the brush tool and selecting on white, which you do by clicking D, then I'm just gonna color in where I want her hair to be. Alright, that seems pretty good, and then with my obvious mistakes I'll kind of go in there and fix that. Click X to go to the black color, and then I'll just color this in right here. So that's going to kind of just make her hair flip a little bit. And then what I don't like is this. Select the background. I'll make a copy of that just so that I don't screw anything up. I'm going to select her glutes. And then now that I have this selection, I'm going to click Command-Shift-I, and that's actually going to invert the selection so that everything is selected but her glutes. And then I'm just going to go into my stamp tool. I'm going to select some of this, and I'll just start coloring. So I deselect, and then I'm just going to try to select this portion of her hair. Now I'm going to click Option Command R. That's going to bring up this selection tool, and then I'm just going to color in her hair and hope that I get lucky and that it selects everything but the pole. Okay, that might do it. I'm going to click OK, and then with this layer, I'm going to select this layer. Make sure that it's on black, and then I'm just going to color this in right here. Cool. Alright, there you have it. The original right here, and then that's just with the hair composite minus the pole. And I just noticed this pole right here, so I'm going to clean this up the same way that I did previously. Okay, so before and after. Fantastic. Alright, let's do some skin retouching now. I am actually going to click Shift Option Command E, because this works better when I'm using my action to do frequency separation. So I'm going to click frequency separation. If you want to learn how to create this action, I think I made a tutorial back in the day. or you can just look it up how to do it on YouTube, but I'm not going to show you right now. I'm just going to play the action. I am bringing this down. Let me zoom in. I want to see it so that I can see, I don't see the details, but I can just see kind of the color, which is about 2.2. And then with this one, I'm going to make it about double. So 2.2, I'll bring it like 4.4. That should give me enough to smooth it out. I actually just delete this one. Okay, so duplicate the lower frequency, and then using the healing brush, I'm just going to go wherever I see inconsistencies in her coloring, and I'm just going to kind of balance it out. So I've got some blotchiness on her cheek, and I'm just sampling parts of her face that I wanted to kind of blend together. Okay, so that was before and after, just slight little changes just to kind of blend in some of the imperfections. And then I'm going to duplicate this lower frequency, and I'm going to create a blur, a Gaussian blur. That's why I did this little thing before, just so that it's already loaded up. So I'll click OK, that's at 4.6. And then I'm going to just come in, I'm going to create a black mask on this, go to my brush tool, into the white, bring the flow down to 4, and then I'm just going to blend in anything else that I see that could just use a little bit of help. I don't want it to look unnatural, but I just like it when things blend together. Now we go to high frequency, we go to our stamp tool, go to 100%. And now I'm just coming in, again, this was super wide, so everything's kind of, pixelated and, low quality, but that's not the point of the photo, is not so much these details, although I still like to do it if I can. Let's group up this frequency separation. No, now we're going to do some dodging and burning. So I'll just do my dodge burn action, which is just a gray fill with a soft light blend. And I will start by dodging. We'll bring her cheeks up a little bit, bring the bridge of her nose, the light part of her lip, and we're just going to kind of go around everything that's light. I'll make a little lighter. Everything that's dark, make a little darker. Alright, so that's before and after. Looking good. Okay, and then I like to just apply just an S-curve on the whole thing. Just see where it works and see where it doesn't. So I really like what that's doing to her, but not a big fan of what it's doing to the sky. So that's easy. I'll just invert this layer, go to my brush tool, and I'll just paint her in. Excellent, so that's before, that's after. That gives her just a nice little S-curve on the body. And then let me see if I can make these clouds a little bit more dynamic. I'll bring a curve out, bring that down. That's kind of a cool look for the sky. There we go. Yeah, I like that. All right, so then same thing. I'm just gonna invert this, go to my brush tool, and paint this in. Now let's go into coloring. I'll group this together. Now I like to bring up this color balance just for the skin tone. I like to give it usually 8 and -6, 8 plus 8 on the red, -6 on the yellow, just to bring out a nice kind of tan And that's a little too much, so bring that down. Maybe no yellow. Let me just see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. And then I really just want this to be on her again. Invert it and paint. Sweet cup and cakes. Alright, cool. I still want her to be a little bit more pronounced than the background. So I'm just gonna bring up not even an S-curve, I'm just gonna bring up the exposure a little bit with a curve. I'll bring this down to my curves again. And then paint her in. Alright, now to kind of color the sky. What do I want the sky to look like? So I'm focusing on that. Maybe more blue into purple. Ooh, some cyan. A nice blue dynamic sky. Yeah, this is boring. This is cool. Awesome. That looks nice. Now we've got nice blue sky, dynamic and pretty. And I don't love the color of the grass. Everything's kind of, it looks dead, and yet the grass is very vibrant and living. And that contrast necessarily, just for this photo, isn't doing it for me. So I think I'll pull up a hue and saturation, bring up the yellows, and just kind of play with this, see if I can get it to a color that I like. And then I wonder even if, so I'm, when I do this, I'm just looking where I want to look. So I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm just thinking about the grass. I'm thinking about the lower thing, and I think like something like a really like intense S-curve might just do it for me. So I'll bring this back into my curves. All right, yeah. See, I love that. That looks really good on the bottom portion. I like even what it did to the top left and right corners of my image, just to make it pop a little bit more. Last thing I'm gonna do a Shift Option Command E. That's just gonna put everything together into one layer. Then I'm actually going to go to my filter, go to Camera Raw. Just looking at the sky, gonna see if I can make it a little bit more pronounced. Cool. All right, and then with this, I'm gonna create a mask and then just paint in those parts. There we go. That's better. All right, so there you go. This is the end product. This is the beginning, end, beginning, end. So, made the sky more dynamic and cool, composited her hair from a different photo, accentuated the shadows and the highlights on her skin, smoothed it out a little bit. Pretty quick and dirty, but you get the idea. This is just the way to just kind of make this shot more dynamic, especially by using elements from other photos to bring it in and make it a perfect image, even if you didn't shoot the perfect image the first time around. So, hope you enjoyed that, and come back in another 5 years when I post another video.